Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna Hare Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Ram Hare Hare Oh Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare Hare Oh Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare Hare Jaya Radha Damodara Shri Radhe Jaya Radha Damodara Shri Radhe Jaya Radha Shama Sundara Shri Radhe Jaya Radha Shama Sundara Shri Radhe Gaur-Nitai, Jaya Jaya Gaur-Nitai. Jaya Jaya Gaur-Nitai. Gonita Jaya Jaya Gonita. Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Jaya Prabhupada. Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Prabhupada. Shri Shri Radha Madhava Saki Panchatattva Prahlad Maharaj Nrsimha Bhagavan Ki. Hare. Good morning, devotees. Happy Shri Krishna Janmashtami, the most auspicious and most celebrated day of the transcendental appearance of Shri Krishna. Shri Krishna Bhagavan Ki Jai. So all over the world, devotees are celebrating the appearance day of one who is unborn, is known as Aja. He is unborn, unmanifested, avyakta, and he has that impersonal feature. His 11th chapter of the Gita, Krishna explains how time is the impersonal representation of him. So time is Krishna. Kalosmin. Krishna says, time I am. Destroyer of all the worlds. Something that Oppenheimer has remembered. There's none the reference. So when he saw this atomic manifestation of atomic weapon, is quoted the verse, Kalosmin, Loka Shaya Krit. The time I am, destroyer of all the worlds. So that's Krishna also. Tick tock, tick tock, tick tock. Yes, a few days ago I saw a beautiful form of Krishna Balaram here in Alachua. And we just celebrated Balaram's birthday. Today we're celebrating Krishna's birthday. Transcendental appearances tomorrow. Prabhupada, transcendental appearance. Yesterday, another, I don't know how transcendental, but little Mateo has appeared also. Mateo is the, from yesterday, the son of my niece. Just appeared. So she was in a hospital. She was in a hospital. Ended up in a hospital. I gave predictions about a week ago. I said, you know what? You can't go wrong. It's going to be somewhere around Krishna and Balaram. Not a devotee, but she has come to some programs. 25-year-old young lady. And she has come as a teenager throughout growing up. Met devotees, read some books. So Mateo appeared too. And I said, you are so blessed. You are so blessed to come between Krishna and Balaram like that. So many appearances. And the other day, like I said, beautiful forms of Krishna Balaram. And Krishna was decorated with these, around the eyes, he has these, gopi dots, but they were like streaks, like like a radiant Gopidas with streaks. So I was just thinking, oh, this is like these, if you look at the watch, it's just like marks. It's like second marks of the second. So we can see Krishna as time, as a destroying factor, as a destroying element. His impersonal feature, the invisible hand of God that destroys everything. But we can see him in the most beautiful form of Krishna Balaram also. That time is conspicuous by its absence, Prabhupada said, in the spiritual world. It doesn't affect devotees. Devotees are not threatened by time as much as materialists are. Like Prabhupada was eating his kachori mukha during the World War II while the bombs were dropping. Unfazed. People are freaking out, running for their lives. Prabhupada is eating his kachori. So the effect of time on devotees is not the same. A cat comes, but the experience of a cat for a kitten is different than of a mouse, right? The same jaws, but for a devotee or kitten, a kitten is the safest place in the whole world. And it transports you from point A to point B in the most safe way. But for a mouse, the same jaws are death personified. So we can meditate on our attitudes and devotional attitudes on this day. And if there is somewhere in the Gita also in introduction, Prabhupada said there's an artificial threat of non-existence. If there is some kind of threat of non-existence, we can try to utilize that to take more shelter of Krishna, right? Coward boys were not afraid to march in the mouth of Agasura, right? They marched in and they were excited. Said, let's see what Krishna is going to do this time. Were they breaking the principles of gambling with their lives? Crazy thing to march in a stinking mouth of dragon-like Aga. So we can be in anxieties, but we can also try to replace our anxieties with excitement that Krishna is there and is appearing. He's appearing not just on Janmashtami, but Prabhupada uses this example of the sun. Sun appears on the eastern horizon. Does it take birth? The sun takes birth on the east, and then it dies on the west as it sets. Another example, I was just listening this morning. Prabhupada says, if the horse is coming and he appears in your window, doesn't mean he has disappeared when he's outside your window frame. So if the horse is running, or we have cars here, cars are coming. I just saw one. Doesn't mean he disappears when he's out of my sight. So Krishna is like that. Krishna's son is like that. He appears and disappears based on our vision, but he's always present, ever present, omniscient, with all the multifarious incarnations. you cannot count. Infinite. Like, I think it's Chaitanya Charitamrita. Like waves in the ocean. Have you been on the ocean? Beach? St. Augustine? Can you count the waves? Come and go, come and go. Always coming and going, coming and going. So Krishna is like that. Advaitam, Achyutam, Anadim, Anantarupam is one without a second, one and only, yet Anantarupam. What is that? It's a paradox. You see, this is what religionists are confused about. Is he one or he's many? What is today? Is he, what was your question? Is he, does he forget? Or he remembers this morning. So philosophy is full of these called koans or paradoxes. And they are meant to destroy our material conception that always falls short. And we cannot understand unlimited, something that it's unlimited with our limited capacity. The birds might fly in the sky in different heights, in different altitudes, but no bird can cover the entire sky. Right? We cannot fully understand Krishna because he himself does not understand his energies. Parasya Shakti Vividaya Shriyate. The multifarious energies are emanating from the fountainhead of Sri Krishna. So how can we, the scientists, understand with our tinny pea-like brains? Something else is required. And that's hard. That is how Krishna is conquered, how unlimited becomes tied. Madhya Yashoda endeavors with all of her heart, all of her bhakti, and Krishna allows to be tied. Shri Shri Radha Damodar ki jai. So Krishna also in the Gita explains that bhaktya mam abhijanati, that one can know me in tattva. Yavan yaschasmi tattvata. In tattva, one can know me in full, in tattva, only through bhakti. So let's look the reasons why Krishna comes. 4th chapter of the Bhagavad Gita. Let's look at the reasons why Krishna comes. Although he's unmanifested, unborn, he comes, and in the beginning of, further, 6. So he says, although I am unborn and my transcendental body never deteriorates, and although I am the Lord of all living entities, I still appear in every millennium in my original transcendental form. So Krishna declares that I come, although I'm born, I still appear. Why? This is explained further. Furthermore, so whenever and wherever there is decline in religious practice, or descendant of Bharat, and predominant rise of irreligion, at that time I descend myself. So Krishna, as a maintainer, something's broken, he comes to fix it. Right? There's a hole on the road. Well, there's been a lot of accidents at University Avenue. That was 10 years ago or 15 years ago? A lot of accidents. How many people, students died? Huh? No, I'm talking about University Avenue. The example of University Avenue. There's a lot of problem because, students, irresponsible student drivers, were just running over pedestrians. So what does the city do? Raise the insurance rates. They put addition. They tried the speed bumps, but even that it wasn't sufficient. So now they have like every street block. There's this traffic lights regulating the traffic. So you can't just speed up and gun it with the pedal to the metal down the university because it's huge. There's like now there's concrete speed bumps every traffic light. So whenever there is decline in traffic practice and predominant rise in speeding and violence in the street, at that time, the city steps in and puts the back order in place. Sheriff comes, yeah, and that's the next verse, to deliver those pious pedestrians and to annihilate those irresponsible student drivers, as well as to reestablish the proper traffic. I myself, says the sheriff, appear millennium after millennium. So the main reason, actually, out of those two, the main reason for Krishna to appear is to reestablish the principle of religion and to deliver the pious. So if you see Krishna, he's never alone. He's always surrounded by his devotees. So therefore he's known as Bhakta Vatsala. He reciprocates with his devotees. Krishna has no needs. He is known as Atmarama. He's self-contained, self-satisfied. But yet there is a devotee like Madhya Yashoda who likes to take care of Krishna as a mother. So what does Krishna do? When there's a devotee who has this motherly affection, pure motherly affection, what does Krishna do? It's not a rhetorical. You can try. Huh? He comes as a child, right? And there's those devotees who want to see Krishna as a friend. Similarly, as Bhaktavatsala, Krishna reciprocates. As one approaches me, I reciprocate. So atheists, they don't approach, but they ignore, they deny. Well, there's agnostics, atheists, and then there are anti-theists, like Prahlad's father. They want to actively be involved in destroying God. So Krishna reciprocates, coming as that personified. Nrsimha Bhagavana ki. So many, many incarnations Krishna has. And like I said, we experience his energy in impersonal form as time, even in this world. So those who claim, well, I don't believe in God. My dear sir, do you believe in old age? Right? We can challenge. Okay, you don't believe in God. Do you believe in old age? Look around. You had parents? You still have your parents? Just wait. You had your grandparents? Where are your grandparents? So this is Krishna in a form of time. But he himself personally comes millennium after millennium just to deliver the pious. So similarly, 5,000 years ago, in a small village of Vrindavan, he appeared. What's so special about Vrindavan? Again, it was the concentration of Krishna's devotees. Because in order to attract Krishna to appear, one requires devotion or bhakti. So, not just 5,000 years ago, but like we mentioned earlier, he's present every day, every moment, somewhere in some universe. So today we are celebrating Krishna Janmashtami, but in reality, we want to actually invite Krishna in our heart, hope that he will stay there and blossom in his presence. That's called Utsav. Utsav means, some say festival, but it's also, little meaning is upsurge or to blossom. So Utsav. We want to bring Krishna in our heart, maintain him there, and hopefully have him blossom or radiant and expand his presence more and more. And how is that done? That is done through devotional service, through bhakti. Bhakti doesn't mean just devotion, it means devotional service. So, very appropriate. Today, we are continuing our service of Krishna lunch. And there, in the same mood, we'll be inviting Krishna through our efforts of devotional service and sharing Krishna with others, just like Srila Prabhupada. We can remember how he has celebrated Janmashtami on his way here, on Jaladuta. He also observed fasting. He also prepared some feast and invited the captain and his wife, the crew, the ship crew. And then he did some katha, some mahatmya, some discussion. He talked about Krishna. And he distributed prasada. That was 1965. Somewhere, was it in Atlantic? I think it was in Atlantic, somewhere in Atlantic. In the middle of the ocean. And then there were 2 heart attacks also. And apparently Krishna came and ensured Prabhupada everything will be all right. And then again, 1966, 26 Second Avenue, he also celebrated Janmashtami. But now some students were there. But same thing, they all observed fasting. And they were like, oh, right, we have to. And then I think he also invited the captain. Captain happened to be around and he invited him to come. 1966. So captain was blessed 2 years in a row. And then midnight came and Prabhupada just cut some fruits. It wasn't a big feast, but he cut some fruits. And he distributed. So now fast forward over 50 years, you can imagine how happy Prabhupada must be to see a worldwide movement celebrating Janmashtami, because that's the only reason he came. He came to give Krishna. He came to show us how to celebrate Janmashtami. He explained, he came to explain who Krishna is, not just both in tattva and in rasa. Because unless you understand the tattva, the philosophy behind Krishna, one will most likely become perplexed, confused about rasa, or his more intimate dealings with his devotees. And furthermore, afflicted, very much so afflicted by the modes of nature. Unless, if we jump to the conclusions of who Krishna really is, we have to understand him in tattva, or in theory, as they say. So how pleased Prabhupada must be to see today so many worldwide celebrations of Janmashtami, because this is the main reason why he came. You can imagine. You can reflect and meditate on that. Okay, so can we look at the... And then he says in text 9, one who knows the transcendental nature of my appearance and activities does not, upon leaving the body, take his birth again in this material world, but attains my eternal abode. So again, understanding Krishna in tattva, or in truth, understanding his transcendental nature. That was the verse of the week, right? Janma karma chame dibyam. Dibyam means they are transcendental. My appearance, my activities, etc. They are transcendental. And this is what Prabhupada pretty much speaks about on each page of Krishna book. Do not think that Krishna is an ordinary boy. Do not think that these are ordinary dealings. And one may get distracted by externals, by procedures, by these religious rituals, and totally miss the point of how special and how mysterious Krishna is. And that he can be understood only, not just through reason, but also through bhakti. And that's why bhakti is so rarely achieved, because it fully controls Krishna. It doesn't give it cheaply, because it controls him. And one has to apply him or herself in a process of anartha nivritti, or the purification of the heart, the purification of existence. Because only in a pure heart, bhakti will fully manifest. So that's the price to pay. It's purification of existence. The wives of a brahmanas were not so expert in mantra chanting or understanding the Vedas, but yet they fully and spontaneously responded to the needs of Krishna and Balaram. So when coward boys woke up one morning, they felt hunger, so much hunger. They approached Krishna and Balaram. We are so hungry. And Krishna and Balaram, they instructed them, you go to these brahmanas and you ask them to feed you. But brahmanas didn't respond. They were too busy. Too busy with their worship. Right? It doesn't make sense. And yet their wives, in such a spontaneous way, they responded to the needs. So recognizing the needs, the need of the hour, is the only way to please Krishna. And we have that opportunity every day. And Krishna is so easily accessible in those kind of ways. So easily accessible. But we miss the point. We miss the point. We get distracted with some other ideas other than service. And there's a beautiful verse actually that illustrates that. And somewhere in the purport there, Prabhupada talks about Krishna's accessibility. That's Bhagavatam 1:8-21. We can chant this together. It's a beautiful verse. Narrated by Queen Kunti, part of the prayers of Queen Kunti. We can do all together. Krishnaya Vasudevaya Devakinandaya Govindaya Namo Namaha. Two more times. Krishnaya Vasudevaya Devaki Nandanaya Cha Nanda Gopa Kumaraya Govindaya Namo Namaha. Krishnaya Vasudevaya Devaki Nandanaya Cha Nanda Gopa Kumaraya Govindaya Namo Namaha. What did I do? I didn't do the prayer. Okay. Om Namo, because it's the verse of Bhagavatam, we have to. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Now all together again. Krishnaya Vasudevaya Devaki Nandanaya Cha Nanda Gopa Kumaraya Govindaya Namo Namaha. Okay. No? Translation? Together. Let me therefore offer my respectful obeisances unto the Lord, who has become the son of Vasudeva, the pleasure of Devaki, the boy of Nanda, and the other coward man of Vrindavan, and the enlivener, the cows and the senses. And the volunteers for the purport. Okay, Bruce was the quickest on a draw.
Purport. The Lord, being thus unapproachable by any material assets, out of unbounded and causeless mercy, descends to the earth as he is in order to show his special mercy upon his unalloyed devotees and to diminish the upsurge of the demoniac persons. Queen Kunti specifically adores the incarnation or descent of Lord Krishna above all other incarnations because in this particular incarnation, he is more approachable. In the Rama incarnation, he remained a king's son from his very childhood. But in the incarnation of Krishna, although he is the son of a king, he had once left the shelter of his real father and mother, King Vasudeva and Queen Devaki. Just after his appearance and went to the lap of Yashoda Mai to play the part of an ordinary cowherd boy in the blessed Rajamuni, which is very sanctified because of his childhood pastimes. Therefore, Lord Krishna is more merciful than Lord Rama. He was undoubtedly very kind to Kunti's brother Vasudeva and the family. Had he not become the son of Vasudeva and Devaki, Queen Kunti could not claim him to be her nephew and thus address Krishna in parental affection. But Nanda and Yashoda are more fortunate because they could relish the Lord's childhood pastimes, which are more attractive than all other pastimes. There is no parallel to his childhood pastimes as exhibited at Rajavuni. which are replicas of his eternal affairs in the original Krishna Loka, described as the Chintamani Dhamma in the Brahma Samhita. Lord Sri Krishna descended himself at Rajamuni with all his transcendental entourage and paraphernalia. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu therefore confirmed that no one is as fortunate as the residents of Rajamuni, and specifically the cowherd girls, who dedicated their everything for the satisfaction of the Lord, his past, his Lord. His pastimes with Nanda and Yashoda, and his pastimes with the cowherd men, and especially with the cowherd boys and the cows, have caused him to be known as Govinda. Lord Krishna as Govinda is more inclined to the Brahmanas and the cows, indicating thereby that human prosperity depends more on those two items, namely Brahminical culture and cow protection. Lord Krishna is never satisfied where these are lacking.
Did you notice in the purport? Easily accessible. Accessible. Approachable. Yeah, he's more approachable. Accessible. More approachable. That is one of the special features or characteristics of Krishna. More than any other incarnation. It's just a coward boy. That he forgets, even himself, that he's God. Nobody in Vrindavan knows that Krishna is God. And everybody is covered by different potency. Yogamaya. That is also not difficult to understand. Even the big CEOs, big men of this world, there's some vacation houses, and usually they're in nature, right? Simple setting, and there they relax, right? The company goes on, but there in their more intimate setting, more relaxed setting, they can just kick back. So that is Krishna. And is approachable, provided one has the ticket to enter that realm. And that is bhakti, brought to us by Bhakti Vedanta. You had a hand?
Yeah.
Oh. Somebody has a hand. Hare Krishna. Happy Janmashtami. Welcome home. Haribol. Jai Ho. Haribol, Haribol. Jai Ho. Haribol. Haribol. Ji Jago. There's another one. Haribol. Okay, did you have a hand?
Yeah. More approachable than Chaitanya?
Ah. That is him. That is him. That is Krishna, but with a golden complexion. It's Krishna, Nrsimha, and Mahaprabhu. They are Swayam Bhagavan, same original Krishna. Those three. The Krishna himself personally comes. He's Krishna, but he's golden complexion. No difference. But it's true, even more approachable, because he has come to taste that same thing. That he has perceived that his devotees are tasting. So what is it? He wanted to understand. How is it? He wanted to know. Hence, there's Gauralila. And same nectar, same taste. Prabhupada is contemplated in a courtyard of Radha Damodar temple how to distribute worldwide, to inundate the world. Traveling extensively in his old age. Jaladutta means the water carrier, or should we say, hydrator. Can we say hydrator? One who carries the water, hydrate. So he was bringing water. Prabhupada was bringing water to the spiritually barren lands of the West, to the phony world. He was bringing substance to the phony world. Yeah, replenisher. Yeah. And it is like that. It's like desert-like existence. When there is appearance of water. Ever been to the desert? There's appearance of water, but there's none. What is it called? Mirage. And the animals are coming after it. Just now coming. Further and further, deeper in the desert, until they drop dead. So Prabhupada has come as a replenisher to stop this madness of running after this American dream and to give Krishna, or even better, to give Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, which is 2 in 1. Sri Krishna Chaitanya Radha Krishna Nahayani. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu ki. Shri Shri Gaur Nitai ki. Haribo. Any other comments? Welcome to our guests to this very auspicious day of Krishna Janmashtami. Shri Krishna Janmashtami Maha Mahotsava ki. Are you all students in UF? Okay, wonderful. There's also afternoon activities at the Alatra temple. We'll be shuttling people at 5 p.m. from here to the temple with Nitai Gaur, Radha Shyama Sundar, and Sri Krishna Balaram Archa Vigraha forms. Beautiful temple. So if you have time, at 5, be here. Yes, Prabhu.
I was thinking that many people have a problem with why would God come here? They say, well, what is a person like you doing in a place like this? In many traditions, even forbid to discuss the form of the Lord because so much they're afraid to make an offense. So many of them, have a problem with it. And there's this beautiful story of Akbar and Virabal, you've heard of it. Akbar was a Muslim king. And, Muslims and Indians don't often find a good common ground, but his smartest minister was Virabal. He was a Hindu. And one time Akbar was sitting on a throne and they had this discussion slash argument about God actually coming to earth. And Akbar was just chastising Virabal. How can you say that God can come here? What is this nonsense? And as they were speaking, Akbar's grandson was passing by the pond from some distance. And he tripped and he fell in the pond. And Akbar immediately jumped up, ran towards him, taking off all of his armor, his garments. He's lunged into the pond and took his grandson, and he was all wet, and hugged his grandson. And finally he walks back to the throne, and Virabal says, see? He's like, what do you mean, see? My grandson must just died. He's like, yeah, but you ran yourself. You had so many guards, so many people around, but you, out of your love, you go yourself and you go in this probably dirty pond, taking all of your garments, and you come because of love. For somebody to challenge Prabhupada, why would God come here? Prabhupada said we can stop him.
Who can stop him? Yeah. Because his heart is nothing but love and concern. It's actually Ramanuja Acharya. He speaks, like Krishna is Bhagavan because he has 6 opulences in full. Why is Krishna God? What are those 6? He has all the fame in full. Okay, that's the last one. And that's good. You're brahmachari, so you're fixed in renunciation. That's good. Strength, all the strength in the world Krishna has in full. Beauty, wealth, knowledge, right? The 5, and finally, he's aloof. He's humble about it. He's renounced. So humility. He doesn't brag. He doesn't show off. Oh, it does sometimes to reciprocate. Again, not because he wants to show up, but to reciprocate with a person who comes in such a way. Yeah, like, little pinky. Little pinky show off. Just to help Indra understand his position, his place. Not because Krishna is struggling with pride. So, but there's 6 additional opulences that, interestingly, Ramanuja also shares. And there's one of beauty that it's present in both sets of opulences. So beauty is kind of his Krishna, the all attractive. It's his main quality that radiates from the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So the other 5 that Ramanuja speaks about is his tender affection. He's affectionate to all the jiva souls. Why? Yes. Why is Krishna's heart full of love? Nothing but love in his heart towards all jiva souls. Yes, Prabhu.
I was just going to say in response to the opulence.
You have a microphone? Or more than one? Or just one? Okay.
I was just going to mention in terms of the 6 opulences in full, this means because his holy name, he incarnates as the holy name and invests in that holy name all of his opulences and potencies. So anything that you could possibly need or want, Krishna has it, and it's in his holy name. If you are lacking a sense of renunciation, chant the holy name with that intention. Whatever your need is, it's in the holy name.
Okay, thank you. So he's very affectionate towards all, but my question is, why would he be like that towards all living entities? Why would he be like that? Yes? Yeah? Close? Bruce?
Because in reality, they're all his best friends and servants.
Okay, that's also correct, but I'm looking for something more specific. Yes, Prabhu.
Everything is actually an expansion of his own being.
Okay, that's we're getting closer. Huh? Yeah, we're part of him. We're part of him. We're part of Krishna. And forgetting that brings about all the trouble. Maya starts with forgetfulness, with this oblivion and amnesia of who we really are. You're part of Krishna, you're part of God. So therefore, Krishna cares There's nothing but that reality. To think that there's something separate from Krishna is one of the definitions of illusion. So, are you in illusion or you are in a reality? Illusion doesn't last. Bhutva bhutva praliyate, it comes and goes like a dream. You remember the dream? Was it real? You were sweating because Tiger was chasing you. But it was just a dream. The only reality is the reality of love and loving exchanges with Krishna, loving relationship with Krishna. And he cares because we're part of him. All of the living entities. It's like, do you care about your pinky? It's just a pinky. And God forbid you lose your pinky, right? It happens. Some machinery chops it off. You would do everything to connect it back, right? I want my pinky back. Look at my pinky. It looks so sad, just laying there on the floor. Huh? I want to do everything to connect it back. So that is his affection. And the other four, because we already had beauty, is that he is very compassionate, which is similar to affection. He's also very gracious. Or generous. He doesn't hold back. He wants you to have it. But he doesn't want you to squander it. Right? So he gives based on our ability to appreciate and to, I guess, manage the time, because that's the only asset we have. It's the most precious asset. And we started with that because you cannot take it back. The time that is wasted is time that it's gone. So, and another quality is that what you were saying is that he is graciously descending. He's descending to be amongst us in that fatherly or motherly love. Not to hover above us, but to be among us. Those are the additional 6 qualities explained by Ramanujacharya. And as Nate was mentioning, the way the latest time that he has come and descended to be among us is in his form of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to inaugurate the Sankirtan movement, the movement that reconnects us with that same reality in such an easy way of congregational chanting of the holy names. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. That was a little sleepy. So we can meditate that Krishna also comes in that form, the most merciful form of the holy names, where he's, as Prabhuji was mentioning, has invested all of his transcendental energies. Nam Nam Bhagari Bahuda Nija Sarva Shaktis. All of his energies are invested. And this is why devotees, they like to chant, because They like to be with Krishna, reunited. This is mantra yoga. So, with much more heart, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. And please, we're not just fasting all throughout the day until midnight, but we're also feasting today. We are feasting on the holy names. So please, throughout the day, as much as possible, reverberate the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. And in that way, you will be reunited with Krishna. Krishna will not only appear, but it will actually stay in your heart and it will blossom. In that way, you'll have the real Utsav. Shri Krishna Janmashtami Maha Mahotsava Ki Jai. Gaur Premanande. There's a hand there on the back. Yes.
I just wanted to say, stay hydrated today. Don't try to it'll be very hot.
Yes, sir. Watch me. Okay. Keep chanting, keep feasting, keep hydrating. See you at 5. And for those of you who are helping if you like to do some service and help at the campus, we'll be there at 10:30, setting up at the plaza. 11 o'clock, a lot of fun. Inviting students. Hare Krishna.